you more and more. Oh, we lay beneath the stars under a lover's tree that sings through the eyes of my mind. I reach out for the part of me that lives in you, that only our two hearts can find. I don't wanna bore you with my trouble, yeah. But there's something about your love that makes me weak and knocks me off my feet. There's something about your love, yeah. Oh, that makes me weak and knocks me off my feet. Knocks me off my feet. And I don't wanna bore you with it. Oh, but I love you, I love you, I love you. I don't wanna bore you with it. Oh, but I love you, I love you, I love you. I don't wanna bore let's make it last. Let's make it last forever and ever. Don't let our love in. Let me hear you tell me you love me. Let me hear you say you never leave me. Girl, that will make me feel so right. Let me hear you tell me you want me. Let me hear you say you'll never leave me, baby, until the morning light. Let me tell you how much I love you. Let me tell you that I really need you, baby, baby, baby. I will make it alright. No one but you, baby, can make me feel the way you make me, feel. Don't let our love in to make it last forever and ever. Well, good afternoon, everyone.
Hey, everybody.
How y'all
Welcome to the Young Dreamers
Teen Summit.
Teen Summit. Are you excited to be here?
Come on, y'all.
Let's
Now
make
it's
some
GCODE,
noise.
y'all. I know y'all excited to be here.
Right.
All right. Well, we're excited to be with you as well. We are your hosts for the Young Dreamers Teen Summit. My name is Dante Shepard, and I'm joined with my co-host.
I am Alicia Waters.
And we're excited. Yeah, thank you. You can give us a hand clap. We don't mind. Alicia, this is going to be a jam-packed summit. I mean, we have some incredible people coming up today. We have panelists, y'all, who are going to share their knowledge, wisdom, and how they have really navigated their careers and education. What do you think about that, Alicia?
I am very excited about that. Also, we have some great experts to talk about mental health as well. So I'm excited about that. So you're going to get a little bit of everything today.
Oh, I think that is so important. Not only mental health, Alicia, self-care. How many of y'all know that self-care? Like, do you take care of yourself? If you take care of yourself, let me just hear you make a little noise. All right, that's good. All right, we got to take care of ourselves.
You have to take care of yourself, and self-care does go beyond getting your hair and your nails done. You got to work on that inner too, right?
Yes, definitely that inner. And not only that, don't have any athletes in the crowd, any athletes. All right, good, because we have some sports leadership today. We have some coaches who have really been around, who learned a lot and really want to share with you what it takes for you to be an exceptional athlete. I'm ready to get this thing started. How about you, Alicia?
Let's get it.
What we're going to start off with today?
Well, let's introduce our first panel, which is the leadership, the moguls. First up, we have Lacey Eichner Jones.
All right.
Let's give her a hand as she comes. She is a prominent financial consultant and owner of Ambition Wealth Group, LLC. With expertise in creative lending, she has helped countless families achieve home ownership and supported entrepreneurs in financial literacy. Let's welcome my Sora, Lacey Eichner Jones.
Thank you, Lacey. We're glad you're here. Coming up next, though, Alicia, we have Mr. Willie Demps, straight out of Pensacola, Florida, graduate of Who We Be, Booker T, Washington. He's also a graduate, played football and graduate of LSU, went on scholarship, got a degree in communications, and is currently building a successful career in real estate. Over the past 12 years, he has helped and empowered so many clients. He also received the Real Estate Agent Award. Let's give a hand for Mr. Willie Demps.
And our next panelist is Marcus Fox. He is a native of Florida. He's a trial lawyer and part-time judge in Mobile, Alabama. A Howard University law graduate. He has over 18 years of experience in complex litigation and felony prosecution. Recognized for his high-profile cases, he is also a member of Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated. He is a tremendous advocate for youth in the community. Let's welcome him to the stage.
Oh, I forgot, guys. You know, Willie's also Omega as well, so make sure y'all make some noise for Willie.
You got to let the people know.
All right, well, let's get this thing started, Alicia. You got some questions. Let's kind of move it around. I'll move around the microphone for all of our panelists, and you'll get us started, okay?
Okay, well, let's get it started. First question I want to ask, can you share a little bit about your journey and how you got started in your industry?
We'll start right off with Lacey.
Hello, Pensacola. Feels good to be home. So I'm Lacey Eichner Jones. I am in mortgage and real estate. I actually started over 20 years ago as a processor and moved my way through the ranks. My degree is in human resources, and I am a training and development as well. Very intricate journey, but I think that helping people to realize home ownership and sustain their legacies for their family has sustained me in this industry.
Awesome.
Thank you so much, Lacey. Thank you so much. We're going to go with Willie.
All right. So glad to be here. And thank y'all, Mega Lamplighters, Mr. Brian Freeman. Appreciate y'all for inviting me out to share with the young people. But I got my start in real estate. I was teaching at the time, and I wanted to, do something else. And I love working with people. And be honest with you, I was at home watching HGTV with my mom. So I got exposed to real estate there, and I did some research on it and just fell in love with it because I love helping people. And that's a field that you really help people achieve their dreams.
Awesome.
Thank you all for having me. Everybody make a round of applause for yourselves. Everybody looks good. That's great. Um, much like Brother Demps, the first time I ever saw a lawyer that I understood, I was about this age, and I was watching a documentary on Thurgood Marshall. So that's just something I kept to myself when I was going through school. Graduated from high school, attended University of Florida, but then I had an opportunity to actually go law school at Howard University, same law school that Thurgood Marshall went to. So when I graduated there, I started practicing, and I've been doing it since 2005. So it's a profession that anybody can achieve. It takes some time, but we need people to seek that
Absolutely,
profession.
absolutely. What are some of the skills or qualities that you look for in young professionals entering your industry?
So grit and hustle, the ability to keep
Wait a minute, say
going.
that, back it up, say it one more time.
So grit and hustle is definitely required in my industry. And what people don't realize is that people think if you're in real estate that you're making a lot of money, but the truth is about less than 1% are even able to pay their bills with just real estate. And Willie could probably attest to that. So being able to show up when the market changes, when things are going left and right, being able to focus and continue, you have to be able to show up every day because it's not gonna always be sweet. And so the grit and the hustle kept me in this industry this long, even with a market crash and foreclosures and things like that.
That's good.
I love that so much. Like Alicia, Lacey said, grit and hustle, and just that showing up. You know, a lot of times we might take it for granted, you know, showing up every day to school, showing up every day to practice. But that show up, all right, shows up later in your career. Thank you so much for sharing that with us.
Absolutely. And grit and hustle will help you be more resilient. That bounce back will be strong if you have that grit and that hustle.
I love it. I love it. Willie, we want to tell us what you look for in young entrepreneurs.
So I would say you need to first identify your why. Why are you doing it? Why are you getting up every morning? Because just like Lacey said, it's not always going to be easy. Me and her go through in the same type of business. So you go through market changes. So one day you might be driving a Porsche, and the next day you might be eating ramen noodles. But why are you doing it? It has to be greater than just the money. So when you identify your why, whether it's for your family, whether you want to build a legacy, whatever your why is, it has to be clear to you. And once you figure that out, you always have the grit, the hustle to be able to get up every day. And the other thing is just consistency. Be consistent. You can't be hot one day and cold the next. You can't get up one morning and say, I'm going to do this and stick to my schedule, and the next day you don't do it. So if you identify your why and you stay consistent, you'll be successful. But those are two things that you need to have to be successful really in anything in life.
You're right about it.
I would say the first thing for a profession like mine that you have to have is to start with the end in mind at all times. You have to understand that anything that these people want to do, these young people want to do, like he said, every day that you wake up, there's a new challenge. And we meet those challenges, we fail sometime, but in the legal profession, every day is a challenge you got to overcome, and it'll be that way for any job. The second thing I think that you need for the legal profession is you just have to have what they call a next play mentality in sports. That means no matter what the battle was today, there are people that will need that service tomorrow. And in any profession that you're developing in, you got to know that each day you have to maximize the opportunity, and that will take you a long way in the profession.
Absolutely. What advice would you have for young entrepreneurs who want to start their own businesses?
So it's so many things, right? Because entrepreneurship is not for the faint at heart. It's up and down, round and round. But the first thing I would say, especially to young people, is do not allow Beyonce's internet to rush you. Okay? pace for your own race, because a lot of times we're emulating people on the internet, and that's their highlight reel. That's the finished product. That's not the process. And we get caught up in basing our goals on what we see and what we think that other people have accomplished. Pace your own race. Try to be the best, better than you were, not better than what somebody else is, because we all have different purposes. And there are people that need to look up to you. And if you're a carbon copy of everything we see, then I mean, what else new do we have to look up to? So that's what I would say. Pace for your own race and don't let the internet rush you.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. So to close out this segment, I'll leave it to the guys, Mr. Fox, Mr. Demps. What advice do you have for these young people? How can they better prepare? Or what tools or what can they do now to prepare them for what's next?
Well, I would say first and foremost, this is it. Unfortunately, in our community, a lot of these young people, as well as ourselves, are doing things for the first time. But activities like this put you in a place where you can touch and feel people who are doing the things that you want to do. So always find those opportunities to be in that space and learn and observe the things that it is that you want to do. And if that changes over time, put yourself in that space and always seek out resources to do the things that you want. But never be afraid to put yourself in a place to achieve what you want.
That's good.
I'm gonna give y'all one piece of advice. When you have somebody smart next to you, you always go first, because you just took my answer. But find a mentor. Don't try to do it by yourself. The wheel has already been invented. Look for people and look at their success, but also look at their failures and learn and make it your own. So if there's something that you want to go out and do, go out, do the research, take the time to really get to understand whatever craft that is, and practice, perfect your craft. Don't get out there and just try to rush out and do something, because you're going to have a lot of failures that way. And I will say this, don't be scared of the failures, because the failures is going to lead you to success. So you don't be scared of the failures, but at the same time, do your due diligence. Go out there and talk to the people that's in your industry that's already doing good things, big things. The fact that you guys have this platform, you're around so many successful people, talk to people, network, and really get out there and see, what people are doing and how they did it. Just share with them and just try to, get some knowledge from them that way.
Can we give it up for our panel? Can we give it up? It makes
Come on, y'all. Y'all give it up for our leaders.
We have people at the top of their game dropping gems. Put your hands together. Yes.
Put your hands together. Great job. Thank y'all so much. We really appreciate it. I hope that y'all have learned something, you grabbed something, and I hope that you decide if entrepreneurship is your focus, then you'll begin to move now. Pace yourself, get a mentor, and most of all, stay in these type of spaces.
And remember your why. Oh, that was good.
Alicia, that was incredible.
That was good.
I just love the fact that they said, pace yourself. Lacey really hit that. I mean, we have track season going on. Any track runners in here right now? All right, and I know you've heard that before. Pace yourself. All right, you're really running a race against you. You're running against the time. All right, and if you beat somebody while you run that race, then that's great. But most of all, you want to beat your time every single time. So I love that.
Your only competition is you. Mm-hmm. But she also said you need grit and hustle. Let me tell you something. Every day ain't always sunshine and rainbows. You're going to have some failures and you're going to fall, but a fall ain't final. It does not have to be final. I promise you, with grit and hustle, your bounce back will be just as strong.
I agree. Well, that's going to transition us right into our next panel, Alicia, absolutely, because sports coaches always ask about, or they repeat, grit and hustle. They say that that's one of the most important things that you need if you're going to be successful. And we have some sports coaches that want to talk about what you need to do and be to be a successful athlete. I'll start off by reading their bios. We have coming up first, Mr. Ty McCants. Coach Ty McCants, y'all give him a hand. Now, he's a dedicated educator and sports leader right out of Pensacola, Florida. Actually was a collegiate basketball player and received his degree at Spring Hill College. Ty was very successful as a head coach, winning 4 district championships and a regional title, and he won the 2022 P&J Coach of the Year, Mr. Ty McCants.
Yeah.
Coming up next, we also have an incredible coach, Coach Jade Brown. Coach Jade Brown, y'all. She is the athletic director and head coach of the girls basketball team at Booker T. Who You Be, Washington. Bred at 15 years, she's been in these particular roles. Graduate of, I got to put a shout out because my wife went here. Woodham High School, Woodham Titans at. She graduated from Long Island University in Brooklyn. She also has a master from the University of West Florida. Go Argos. And she's had great success. P&J Coach of the Year 2 times, Booker T Teacher of the Year in 2014, and she was a rising star. I was a part of that class, so I love that. And she's put out many D1 players. Miss Coach Jade Brown. Coming up next is Mr. Adron Chambers. Y'all put a shout out to Adron Chambers. Adron is no stranger to the area. Pensacola and Pensacola High School graduate. Also attended Mississippi State, transferred from PJC before it was Pensacola State College. But not only that, he was drafted in the MLB's 2007 Major League. 2011, he was a World Series champ. Mr. Adron Chambers. Mr. Adron has something he want to say. What do you want to say, Adron?
Look, I see my man Fred Roberts back. What's going on, Fred? Check this out. This is my first G code, and it's been quiet in here. And we didn't have some great people come on this stage. I need everybody.
He said he wanted everybody to stand up and give him a hand. Adron love the energy. He trying to feel the energy today. Ain't nothing wrong with that. All right. Here we go. Here we go. So we're going to jump right into it, Alicia.
Awesome.
We're going to jump right into it. If you could, Alicia, start off with the first general question that we have for all of our panelists. Our first one is, how do you believe participation in sports benefits children overall development? Once again, how do you believe participation in sports develop children overall development? Ty gonna start us off.
That teamwork aspect, teamwork, the camaraderie, and working together with others to reach a common goal is very vital to the success of your life, period. Believe it or not, the very first job I received was because I was an athlete. It was with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. They want people who are competitive, people who are used to working in a team, and people who want to achieve a goal and who want to gain something in life and move up in the company. So being on a basketball team my whole life is what taught me those qualities they loved about me. And I ended up getting into a great career when I first was fresh out of college.
I love that. Love that. Teamwork. Coach Jay, can you expound on that as well?
I think being an athlete and participating in athletics prepares you for life probably more than any other thing. As an athlete, you have so many highs and lows. And in life, which they kind of said earlier, you mentioned as well, you're going to have highs and lows. And if you can learn how to get through those highs and lows in athletics, life is going to be great. One thing I tell our girls on our team, if losing a game is the toughest thing you go through in life, your life is going to be great. So the highs and lows of participating in athletics prepares you for everything that life has to bring you. And life is going to bring you a lot of highs and lows, and you learn to stay even keeled. And with that, you're going to be successful.
I love that, Coach. I love that. You got to learn how to win and lose in life. And if you do that with grace, you're going to be all right. Mr. Adron, can you tell us a little bit, what do you think sports do for young people?
Do for young people?
Development-wise.
It does a number of things. You know, you talk about accountability, discipline, respect, being accountable. I know a lot of times when it comes to, we were talking about it just a few minutes ago, the fellas in the room. In baseball, I don't know how many baseball players we got out here. Okay, I like that. In baseball, and for the ones that don't know, if you come up to the plate 10 times and you miss or don't hit the ball 7 times, you're still considered great, right? That means 30% of the time, you only hitting it. 70% of the time, you are missing it. That's failing. In basketball, if you go to the free throw line and you miss it 7 times out of 10, you Shaquille O'Neal. Y'all supposed to laugh. That's a joke. Oh my goodness, man. What is
I
going
caught that
on?
one. Some of them, you got to say Shaq,
like,
man. Some of these
oh,
dudes,
they don't know Shaq.
yeah,
They don't
you got
know
to say
Shaq.
Shaq, man. They don't know
Yeah.
Shaquille O'Neal. Who is that? But I think that's incredible, though, Adrian. You say that we got to. It's about looking at what a win and a loss is in your arena.
Dealing with failure. I mean,
Yeah.
I think that's the biggest thing in what we do. I mean, whether you're a coach, player, or whatever, you got to understand how to deal with adversity. Adversity is sometimes the best teacher. I mean, it's gonna be some people up here stepping, and you might misstep. Are you gonna stop? Or are you gonna keep going? Exactly. And you got to understand how to do that. I see y'all nodding, y'all hitting. Y'all
I love
waking
that.
up.
I love that.
I see y'all.
Thank you. You got to learn, and again, you got to learn how to win and lose. It's so important. I want to direct this question to Coach Jay Brown. Coach Jay, you often I get a chance to view you on social media, and you talk about work ethic a lot. One of your sayings is "Don't get outworked." Why do you consider work ethic to be a key factor in a player's success?
I think the way you do anything is how you do everything.
Oh, that's good.
The way you do anything is how you do everything. And if you work hard, and anything that you want in life, it's not going to be easy. And nothing is hard. Everything is a challenge. So if you work for what you want, you're going to get what you want. But if you half do it, you're going to get half do results. But if you give everything that you got, you're going to get the results that you want.
I love that. I love that. How you do anything is how you do everything. I love that. Can we pass it back to Adrian real quick? Because Adrian, you've had an opportunity to play on a high level, but Coach just talked about how you do anything, and you
Highest level.
You did on the highest level. Let me get that right. But you had a chance to play multiple sports. All right, and you got to be a real dog to play multiple sports. How did participating in multiple sports open up opportunities for your athletic career?
And that's a great question. For me, I did. A lot of people don't know. I did write a book. It's out, From Pensacola to the World Series. Check it out. Mississippi State is where I went. I went to Mississippi State on a full scholarship, and
that was in football, right?
I was in football.
That was in football.
And then I went to Pensacola Junior College to play baseball. But the interesting thing is, because we were talking about this too in the back, is that every athlete should play multiple sports. There's so much you can learn from baseball, so much you can learn from track, so much you can learn from, all the sports, tennis, whatever. But for me personally, with what I went through, the adversity, remember, decisions are everything. Understand this. The decisions that you make right now, today, are going to affect you 10 years from now. Remember that. That's very, very important. And I heard some claps over. That's very good. I like that. But understand this. The reason why I say that is because for me, when you asked the question, I was thinking like, it wasn't just me having the ability that God gave me to be able to play multiple sports is what I took from that. It was the fact that when I left Mississippi State, I left because of a terrible decision that I made, right? When I went to go and I changed to go play baseball, I had to make up my mind what I really wanted to do. I had to start making better decisions.
That's good.
So when it came to me being able to have that extra sport to play, obviously it was a wonderful thing because now I can go play baseball. But at the same time, I had to change the way I was thinking.
That's good. That's good.
I'm sorry.
That's good. You okay? I'm just kind of got to catch you.
But
Hey, next time we're gonna have to do one together, so we can just let you go. All right. So here we go. But I do want to hit this though, Adrian. You said you can get it, Ty. Making good decisions. It's just to narrow it down. It's just all about the decisions that you make can either close doors or open doors for you. Ty, we live in a world now that young people make quick decisions, and sometimes even parents are making those decisions, especially when it comes to what school they're going to go to. We might jump up and go to another school immediately. I want you to just elaborate on why trust and loyalty can be beneficial between the relationship of a coach and a player during this time.
Oh man, that's a great question. Hey, how many points did I score this year? 0, right? So my players are an extension of me. I can't shoot the ball for them. I can't dribble the ball for them. So we have to develop a relationship where I trust them and they trust me to go make the right play. And that's where that loyalty comes into play at. If you're doing right by the kid and you showing them every day that you're there for them and you want the best for them, they're going to be loyal to you and they're going to trust you. Everybody knows the iconic play from 2022 that Josh Whitehurst made, right? The volleyball line shot to take it to state. What player? Not many players are going to take a shot from that far out for many coaches because that coach does not trust them. Josh knew, I knew that he could make that shot. So he had all the confidence in the world crossing half court to make that shot. So, you know, if I don't trust Josh, if Josh doesn't think I trust him, we don't make that shot, we don't go to state. So that's huge when it comes to a coaches-player relationship. Just a perfect example I could give for that.
Just that belief. You got to make sure that you have a coach who believes in you, but you also have to believe in the coach. Really important. Coach Jay, you've had an opportunity to work with many top athletes, especially as a coach and an AD. You've seen them come through your program. When college coaches come to your school, what are maybe 1 to 3 things that they look for in a prospective player?
Well, they look for a lot of things, but of course they know you as an athlete already. If they didn't know you as an athlete, they wouldn't be contacting me. The first thing that I get asked by every college coach, especially now lately, what type of person are they? You know, what type of people do they hang around? They want to know who you are outside of the game, especially now with NIL and revenue sharing. They're getting ready to invest possibly thousands to millions of dollars in athletes. So they want to know what type of individual you are. The next thing they're going to ask for sure, what are your grades like? You know, what type of athlete is this young person in the classroom? Are they a leader in the school? And the last thing they ask, which is to me one of my favorite questions to hear, how's the family support? You know, what type of family do they come from? Who are they hanging around? Do they have that support that's needed? So those are some of the things that college coaches are constantly asking me when they're contacting me.
I love that. I love that. You got to have your grades and what type of family, all right, or what type of support do you have? Your support system. And we want you to understand that when she says family, she doesn't necessarily just mean your immediate family. Your support system could be other people that is within your life that is helping you navigate your decision making and success in your life. All right, we're going to close this thing out, and I just need you all. We asked Lacey and them a little earlier, just was one thing that would stick out for an entrepreneur. What's one quality, we can let Adrian go first, one quality that you as a Pensacola State College coach look for in an athlete? And if you can just give it to us real quick.
What do we look for? How are you programming yourself? I mean, these cell phones and the television is telling you what you got to see. How are you programming yourself? What type of person are you? Are you looking at things that's going to help you progress in the career that you're choosing, or are you watching things that don't have anything to do with it? So, I mean, the main thing as a coach for me, we looking at what is his habits? What are the habits?
What is his habits?
Yeah.
What's programming?
Or her habits?
Her habits. Is your programming TikTok or is your programming film? Ty, what is one thing you're looking for, coach?
I'm gonna have to say work ethic. Going back to what Coach Jay said earlier, work ethic, man. How you do anything is how you do everything. If you come in and you work hard, I could do a whole lot with you. I mean, a whole lot. I feel like I could conquer the world with you. Just come in and work hard. So I'm gonna say work ethic.
Work ethic. And Jay, can you close us out? What is that one thing we heard? Well, you know, what are decisions you're making? What programming, work ethic? What's one thing that you would look for?
I'm be honest. I'm just gonna piggyback off what Coach Ty said. Work hard. That's it. Hey, if you want to grind, you got to shine. And if you work hard, you're going to be successful. That's what we look for. We're looking for the athlete that if it's a brick wall standing in front of us and you ain't got no tools, you're going to find a way to get through it.
Coach, I love that you said that. And to close out though, but I've got to ask you something. How important is attitude?
Attitude determines your altitude.
So how high you go will determine on how you show up and your behavior, whether it's emotionally, whether it's physically, but your attitude. So attitude is important.
Yes, sir.
All right, y'all. Can y'all please give a hand for our coaches panel?
Yeah, make some noise. Thank you all.
We got
so
Adrian
much.
Chambers. We got Ty McCann, Coach Jay Brown.
You're welcome. Listen, if y'all don't clap for Adron Chambers, y'all better clap for him. He's gonna come back out here.
Y'all better let Adron know he love energy.
We gonna be here 5 more minutes. Wait, no hand clap. Let's keep it moving. We have another panel. It is our mental health panel. I'm really excited about this. Coming to the stage, we have Cynthia Squirrels, who founded Squirrels Counseling Services.
Yes, so let's give a hand.
Mental health counselor. She specializes in depression, ADHD, anxiety, trauma, and grief. Let's welcome her to the stage.
Thank you.
We have Sandra Donaldson, the president and CEO of Donaldson Edge Consulting and executive director of Donaldson Edge Advocacy, Inc. With over 20, clap your hands, with over 20 years in healthcare.
Give a hand to Miss Sandra.
She empowers communities through education and advocacy on health risks. Then we have Haley Morissette, DJ Hale.
Come on, y'all. She multi, baby. She do more than just one thing.
The 2024 NASW Florida Social Worker of the Year. She is a mental health advocate from Pensacola, Florida. She is also the director of operations for Overflow Health Alliance and founded Soul Step Solutions. Clap your hands for her, DJ Hale.
Let's go.
Then we have Julia Graff, also known as Jules.
Let's go.
She moved to Pensacola after earning her bachelor's in rehabilitation services from East Stroudsburg University in 2010. She is the Region 3 Director of Support Services for SESI Inc. and oversees 8 campuses in Florida and Georgia. Let's give a hand for our panelists.
Well, we're so glad that all of y'all are here, and we want to learn a little bit more about mental health and self-care. Our young people need to know a little bit about it. Lisa, you want to get us started with a few questions?
Let's get right into it. What are some common mental health challenges that young people face today?
Right now, 49.5% of African American children ages 12 to 18 will suffer from depression, anxiety, ADHD, or some type of mental health disorder.
Now, what is that age group again? 12 to 18.
Ages 12 to 18, 49.5%. So that means nearly half of the people in this room in that age group will have a mental health disorder if they live in the United States. So this is important, guys. Your mental health is part of your overall health. Knowing how to manage your emotions, how to deal with depression, sadness, knowing how to stop all those racing thoughts that keep coming up in your brain, dealing with that impulsivity. It will have a direct outcome on your future.
Julia, this next question is for you. How can someone recognize the signs that they or a friend may need mental health support?
Absolutely. So the best way to recognize mental health is if it disrupts or affects our 4 L's. So those 4 L's are our ability to live, love, laugh, and learn. So when you see someone who's acting a little bit different, shying away, anti-characteristics that you're not used to seeing, all of a sudden they might be a little bit more energetic. Those are some of those symptoms that you can recognize and just ask if they're okay. Do you need help? How can I be there for you?
That's a simple. Give me those 4 L's one more time.
Yes, ma'am. It's live, love, laugh, and learn.
Awesome. Thanks so much. DJ Hale, how does social media impact youth mental health? And how can it be managed in a healthy way? Because TikTok ain't going away, obviously.
No, not at all. So really, we think a lot about expectations that we set for ourselves. And sometimes, especially as youth, I remember being a middle schooler and thinking about what my expectations were and mirroring it off of the people that were around me. Social media now puts it right in y'all face. So you don't have just the people surrounding you. You also have all of these people across the country that you're like, I should be meeting this goal, or I should be looking like this or doing that. So I know that it affects you because all of us are always comparing ourselves to someone else. But you can manage that by reminding yourself, looking in the mirror, that you're already perfectly made, you're healthy, and that you can continue to flourish in that way. but you know, you want to make sure that you're doing it. And I really want to emphasize also is community. One thing is that my mother was the person who used to always tell me, you're different, and that's okay. It's going to be some pressures there, but it's okay. It's okay to be different. It's okay to take care of yourself. It's okay to reach out to someone else if you feel lonely about feeling like you're completely different and on your own.
That's good. Sandra, what are some myths or misconceptions about mental health that you'd like to debunk today?
Well, first of all, I would like to thank each one of you for being a part of something bigger than you. To be a part of the Lamplighters and a part of the GCODE today, this is your first step to health and well-being. And so there's misconceptions with mental health. A lot of people think that, you know, something's wrong with me. They think, oh, I have a temperature, so I must be sick. But mental health is one that goes right under the line. The misconception is that it exists. A lot of our children, particularly our children, there's this conception that, oh, he's just like his dad, or his friend does that. But as children, as each of you, just like you got that temperature, if you don't feel well here or feel well here, let an adult know. A trusted adult, not just a friend, but a trusted adult. Tell your mom, Mom, I'm not feeling good today. Sometimes moms need a little understanding too. Parents need a little understanding too. It's not that I don't want to go to school today. I don't feel like going to school today. Well, does your stomach hurt? No. Well, what's wrong? I don't feel well. And sometimes that's hard to describe. And that's one of the biggest misconceptions is that mental health actually is a thing. It exists. Our children suffer from it. And something that was brought up about the understanding of social media and what's out there, that's a ready-made project. That's been done. You're not gonna be the Beyoncés and all those things that have years and years perfecting that craft where you're starting today. Many of them started at a very young age. So you beautiful dancers out there, you have an opportunity to be a Beyonce. But don't feel bad if you're not. Be okay where you are right now today because you're all stars. Your parents obviously love you very much because you're here today. And just have that inner faith in yourself that if you're not feeling good, okay, it's okay to tell someone.
Awesome. Miss Cindy, what are some practical ways young people can manage stress and anxiety?
I think the first thing is to differentiate between stress and anxiety. Stress is short term. You guys are going to be performing here today, and you might feel that little nervousness in your stomach, but as soon as you get up here, it goes away. The thing about anxiety is it never goes away. It's an ongoing worry. As soon as I've got through something else coming up for me to keep worrying about. That's an anxiety issue, and it goes across many boards. It can be school. It could be my friendships. It could be home. It can go across many domains. So the first thing is you got to recognize what's stress and what's anxiety. Probably one of the quickest things that I can tell you to manage both is your 5 senses. Using your 5 senses helps you to stop thinking in the moment of whatever's worrying you. There's a quick exercise that you do. Name 5 things that you see. Touch 4 things and describe what they feel like. Hear 3 things and describe what the sound is. Smell 2 things, taste 1 thing. By the time you finish that, whatever thoughts have been going in your mind will stop. Then that gives you space to get away from it. Then go do something where you got to use your hands and you got to think. Fold that laundry, clean your room. Do some homework. Get your space away from it. Then that way it's not overwhelming you, and then go back to it and talk. The most important thing I can tell you all as young people is find a safe person and talk. Because everything that you think in your mind isn't the truth. And our minds are predispositioned to go negative. We always go negative first. You have to talk to somebody so they can interject that positive, remind you who you are, remind you what your capabilities are, because you're not going to see it automatically.
That's good. I'm going to go to DJ Hale for this one. And then Julia, you're up next. I want to know, tell the young people how mindfulness and meditation can help with mental health.
Oh, yes, that's my jam. Okay, so let's talk about mindfulness and meditation real quick. Going back to really talking about grounding, though, which is getting in those five senses, a lot of times we are so caught up in just thinking about everything. We're on go, go, go. A lot of y'all are amazing at school, right? You're probably trying to make sure that you're hitting all expectations at home and everything outside of that in your friend groups. Mindfulness really takes you to a place where you can feel the right now and what is happening and being in that moment rather than I'm always thinking ahead. I'm always thinking ahead. It is so important for y'all to have those moments, especially as young people, so that you can enjoy life, but also you can reel in those real negative thoughts that may come up as you're just going about your life. Meditation is my favorite because I use music with my meditation, obviously, as a DJ. But meditation is so important because it really helps you clear your head. Like, you just sometimes have to get back into your zone. How many athletes was it again? Raise your hand, you're an athlete. If you a dancer, you an athlete, so y'all can all just go ahead and raise your hands anyway. But seriously, when you're an athlete even, you're always thinking of the next play, of what the next move is, what's the 1-2 step, right? When you're getting into that meditation and getting in your zone, you're getting real clear-headed so that you can go back and focus on what's really important right in front of you. That's important. I have a regiment where I meditate every night before I go to bed because I have better dreams when my head's a little clearer. And during like the middle of my day, I do a lot of mindfulness. Mindfulness eating is my favorite thing, y'all. I'm never gonna lose these 30 pounds, but we can talk about that later.
Okay, Julia. Now, we talked a lot about seeking help, finding a trusted adult, but mental health conversations can be difficult when you don't know exactly what's going on within you. And it may be hard to start that conversation or even to describe those feelings. How can young people feel more comfortable talking about their mental health?
So some of the best advice I have, regardless of if it's for mental health or any situation, is never assume you're the smartest person in the room. You can always learn something from someone around you. The best thing to do is to ask questions. If you haven't heard a term before, hey, what's that? If you want to know more about something, hey, can I talk to you after? If you're interested in something, take the first step, do a little research from trusted sources, and be able to start that conversation by a simple, hey, what's that? Give me a term, give me an idea, give me a concept. Doors open from there.
Awesome. Sandra, talk about some of the resources that are available to youth specifically regarding mental health.
So it depends on where you are. When I look at this group and I look at the mentorship you have directly here in this group, there are trusted individuals that's right at your arm's length. Being a part of this, the Lamplighters, and what you all have committed to, you guys have promised yourself that you want to be better than. So who is the person that you look up to that's leading you in your leadership that you feel comfortable with talking to? That's your first access point. Sometimes it's kind of hard to explain it to your teachers and so forth. However, your teachers are also a great point to start. Your best point to start is with your doctor. Having your own personal doctor, one that you've been seeing, whether it was since a little baby or if you may have just started seeing them, using your personal physician, because not only are they looking at your health care, your mental health, they're also looking at your health as well. Have they noticed that you've lost weight? Have they noticed that you've had some changes at home? It could be some things going on that you may not want to talk about. They may be the first person that will pick that up even before you do. Your doctor may pick those things up before you even do. And they may be the one that shares it with you. Hey, how have you been feeling? Are you doing okay? I noticed this, I noticed that. So always look at those trusted individuals in your life that you can turn to for help.
Miss Cynthia, to close us out, what are some healthy ways that the young people can use to cope with failure, disappointment, or rejection? Because it's going to happen.
Well, yeah, it's going to
Yeah.
happen. Failure. It's not really that you failed. You just got to change the standard and the expectations. It's either we will go from perfect to failure. Fill in the gap. You might have did good-ish. You might have did good enough. You might have done very good. Fill in the gap so you can have the right expectation for yourself instead of just going perfection, failure. The other thing that to deal with disappointment, you got to have good emotional self-care so that you can be self-kind, self-compassionate to yourself, and give yourself acceptance. That's looking at yourself without judgment,
Absolutely.
not being critical.
I'm really big on affirmations. And so before we do get rid of the panel, what is your word? If you had to affirm yourself right now, what would be your word for you personally?
Powerful.
Come on. Come
I
on.
am powerful.
I am powerful. Julia, what's your word?
I'll go with blessed. I'm blessed.
And so I am blessed. I love it.
I used to be a debutante, and ours was, I'm a phenomenal woman. Phenomenal.
Phenomenal. Absolutely.
Mine is what I have to often give myself, which is grace. Some days you feel good, some days you feel bad, but have the grace to know between the two.
Absolutely. Can we put our hands together for this amazing panel? There was some good information here. Good information. Thank you all so very much. So very much.
Thank y'all so much. Well, first of all, hey, before we get to our last, we're down to our last segment, y'all. And I really want you to take advantage of this segment. So I've seen it a little slouching over. I see you getting a little winded. So if I could just have everybody stand up. Let's stand up real quick. All right. Stand up, stand up, stand up, just to move around. Hit your, if your homeboy sleep, your homegirl sleep a little bit, wake them up. I really want to tell just to our youth real quick. If you care about your brother or sister, then you're going to make sure that they get the right information. All right. If you care about your brother or sister, because when things happen with your brothers or sisters, with your friends, a lot of times we feel bad, but they didn't get the right information. So let's make sure that they get the right information for the next 15 minutes. I'm just challenging you. We got 15 minutes. How long do we got, y'all? How long we got? I need y'all to lock in for 15 minutes. Lock in for the next 15 minutes. So if you had your phone, let's put it up just for the next 15 minutes, because we got some young leaders that I believe is going to touch you. They're going to be able to share, and they're the most immediate to your future. All right. They just did what some of y'all are aspiring to do. Go to college. All right. Be successful. And so I just need y'all to lock in for 15 minutes. Can we do that? Can we do that? Lamps, can we do that? All right. I need y'all to lock in. Let's lock in. All right. Here we go. Our first, you got
Our first panelist is Lauren May.
Y'all can take a seat.
She is a fourth-year mathematics education scholar from Pensacola, Florida, and she is the Student Government Association president for 2024-2025 at FAMU. She is my Sora. Put your hands together for Lauren May.
Welcome, Lauren. All right, coming up next, we have Dakar B. Williams. Can we have DK Williams? DK Williams is a fourth-year psychology scholar from Macon, Georgia, has a notable music industry experience with the Otis Redding Foundation and Broadcast Music Incorporated. He is a spring 2024 initiate of Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated. Y'all give a shout out to him. Serving as his chapter's vice, DK has extensive strategic leadership experience and has increased alumni engagement at FAMU. Y'all give a hand for DK.
Yeah. Next up, we have Jamal Sharp. He is an entrepreneur and community leader dedicated to youth empowerment. As the owner of BAM Snowballs, he served refreshing treats while engaging the local community. As a leader at Changing the Narrative, Jamal's mentors young men and promotes literacy, creating transformative experiences that educate and empowers the next generation. Welcome him to the stage.
Y'all give a shout out. And also, if y'all didn't know, he graduated from FAMU. Strike again. Here we go. And our last panelist is Mr. Marcus Thomas. Marcus, alumni of the Lamps, of course, but he's a business administration graduate from the Florida A&M University, held leadership roles while he was there in high school and in college. He coordinated the Miss Omega Sci-Fi pageant and a member of Omega Sci-Fi Fraternity Incorporated. Passionate about community service and travel, Marcus has been featured on Good Morning America, ESPN, and he works in talent development at JP Morgan Chase in Dallas, Texas. Give it up again for Marcus Thomas.
Oh, this is a panel right here.
Oh, this is good right here.
This is a panel right here.
All right, well, let's get this thing going. First of all, we're excited that y'all are here again because y'all, y'all just kind of left these seats. So y'all can really relate to what our young people have going on. We're going to get started with just asking a question that'll go around to each one of you. How have your leadership roles across various sectors prepared you for future challenges?
Definitely. Well, I'm just going to go ahead and introduce myself one more time. Greetings, everyone. I am Lauren May, and I'm a fourth-year math education major from Pensacola, Florida, currently serving as a student body president and university trustee. But within all my various leadership roles, whether it's student government, whether it's in the classroom, whether it's in housing, just anything, it's just showed me how to be adaptable to things and also how to really be a team player. You can't really get anywhere without, learning and knowing how to work with people.
I love that. I love that. You can't get anywhere without learning and learn how to work with people. Marcus.
Yeah, again, good morning, afternoon. What is about 2 o'clock? Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Marcus Thomas. I am a recent graduate of Florida Agricultural and Mechanical University with a degree in business administration. And I'm a former student body vice president, along with other leadership roles at Florida A&M. And I would say my leadership roles have honestly advanced me in terms of just knowing how to show up and present myself. Already as a Black man, I have to do 2 times the work to get half of the recognition. And so I think my leadership roles have shown me how to present myself, how to show up, how to not only be at the bar, but how to raise the bar. And so, even simple things like FAMU, how we introduce ourselves again. And so just to know that I have to do better than the bare minimum. And so even with the Pensacola Lamplighters, I'm a former president of the Pensacola Lamplighters, and Mr. Freeman and the rest of the staff getting us to introduce ourselves, go on these college tours, it showed me that Black men can do more than enough. And so just learning again that I can do more than the bare minimum and that I'm already enough with who I am.
I love that. You're already enough, y'all. All right, Mr. Jamal.
So in my leadership roles, I just learned to take the reins. The ones before me, they did the same for me. So whenever I have somebody under my wing and something that I want to teach others, I just take the reins, no matter what it is, no matter what you're doing, just make sure you're showing them what you wanted someone to want to show you.
I love that.
Hey everyone, my name is Dakari Williams, SJ Vice President at FAMU. In my different leadership roles, I guess the main thing that I've learned is just patience and understanding with different teams and different people that you work with. A lot of times in my position, we have to work with different students, but the main thing is just showing that grace to people because everybody's still learning. So sometimes being a leader isn't just being like, oh, you do this, you do that, but it's learning together as a team and making sure that you uplift as you continue to work with other people. So
I love that. DK, you can keep the mic.
Sure.
I love the fact you said working with other people. DK, you have some experience with networking. And you've had an opportunity to get to meet some people throughout your career. If you could just, how has networking played a role in the success of yourself as a college student and moving forward?
For sure. So networking I see as something that's very important. The main thing and the main way that I look at networking is we all need each other. We're all on this earth for a certain reason, and we need each other to make sure that we can all be strong. So I would say just treating every relationship like, it is important as it is, and making sure that you're there for your friend the same way that they'll be there for you. And that's really how you build different buildings, like buildings of greatness. So that's really how I look at networking, making sure that you support other people and they'll support you right back. So
I love that. You could pass it to Jamal because that kind of just transitioned us to entrepreneurship. He just said, supporting each other is really important. You're a young entrepreneur. Could you just tell us, Jamal, what inspired your entrepreneur journey?
What inspired me was I just wanted to make some money, to be honest with you.
That's a good reason. That's a good. Y'all can
look,
clap
though.
for that. Anybody just want to make some money? I mean, that's a good why.
But then I quickly realized, though, I thought whenever I started these businesses,
Okay.
that I was going to make more money and have more time, right? But it was the opposite. I had less money and I had less time. I had to keep pouring back into that. So anybody who wants to start a business, or if you already have a business, because we have multiple businesses and successful. I want to say they're successful. Right now, you can go to my store. I'm making money right now like I'm sitting in front of you. But it wasn't always like that. So I want to say, make sure you do what you love and fall in love with whatever business that you want to get into, because it's going to be extremely hard. But if you're doing what you love, the hard stuff doesn't matter. So I started off wanting to make money. It didn't happen that way, but then I ended up falling in love with it, and then the universe brought it back to me.
I love that. I love that. Fall in love with what you're doing. You can hand it to Marcus. DK really hit about networking, and then Jamal just talked to us about falling in love with what you're doing. But you have to become, Marcus, and you're really into personal branding, like really knowing who you are and what you're going to do. Can you just tell us, why do you believe developing that personal brand is so crucial?
Yeah. I think your personal brand is who you are. If I haven't met you before, your personal brand is people that are advocating for you. One of the most vital things that I've ever was told was, it's not about what you know, it's not about who you know, but about who knows you. So who's in those back rooms advocating for
Say
you?
that
Who's
again.
talking?
Say that again. We got to make sure they hear that in the back.
Yeah, so it's not about what you know, it's not about who you know, but it's about who knows you. So who's in that back room advocating for you? Who's telling me that, hey, Dante, he's an amazing host. He has great personality. He's going to raise the bar. Who is that person? And so I think developing your personal brand, I didn't get on this stage because I was a lamplighter or because I'm from Pensacola, Florida. I had to do the work, and I had to show people my impression management, meaning who is Marcus? How is he going to present himself? Is he going to be able to drop those small nuggets that's going to inspire? And so I think it's very important, because you want people, I say all the time, I'm really big on my friends. I love my friends. I love my family. And maybe it's a Southern thing from Pensacola, Florida, but I want people that's going to speak highly of me when I'm not in the room, because you're not always there. So I want people that are going to literally speak highly of my name, talk good about me when I'm not there. So I think your personal brand is everything. It's literally who you are when you're not in the room.
What are they saying about you? I need you to think about that. You can hand it to Lauren. What are they saying about you when you're not in the room? Think about that. What is your teachers saying about you? What are your coaches saying about you? What are your parents saying about you when you're not in the room? Lauren, right now we have 3 young men up here, and you're the minority. And most people don't understand that to stand out as a young lady and to take on the highest leadership role at FAMU could be a task. Can you just tell us what inspired you, and how did you separate yourself to put yourself in position that you could be the SGA president one time, and you're going for 2 times? Am I correct? Or did you already get it? You waiting? Okay, all right. So we're waiting to see. Talk to us a little bit of how you put yourself in that position to get that leadership opportunity.
Yeah, so definitely I think is based off my foundation, even in high school and middle school, I was always around these different opportunities for myself to grow. Being in student government in high school, just being a part of these mentorship programs, it was always, embedded in myself that I can be something great. I have goals and I can do all these things to reach them. And actually, when I first started off my student government journey, it was just a way for me to get involved with school and everything. But I was just surrounded by so many like-minded individuals who pushed me to want to be the best I can, having mentors like Marcus and people who have come before me at Pensacola, letting me know that, you can do this. And just one thing happened after another. And just with hard work and dedication, I was able to, achieve these goals.
I love that. Hard work, dedication. Y'all give her a hand there. If we could, we can pass the mic to Jamal. Jamal, you're a multi-faceted entrepreneur, but you have this love for kids as well. What inspired you to write a book? Can you just tell us about that journey?
Okay, so we have a snowball shop located in town, but we can only reach a certain amount of people. We can only reach the Pensacola people. And then with our mobile unit, we can travel, a certain radius. But how can we reach the masses? How can we reach more people? It was someone in California one day that was saying, wow, we really want to come to your shop. We want to not just get a snowball or patronize you, but we want to speak to you. We want you to share some light to us. We want to talk to you personally. We was like, how can we reach more people? And we said, you know what? Let's write a children's book. Anyone else, anywhere can get that children's book. So we wanted to write that, and it's called Unleash Your Inner Hero. So it's about a scared kid who's not confident, and he just realizes that he has that hero within. All he has to do is unleash it. Every single one of us has a hero within ourselves. So we wanted the youth to know that, and we wanted young kids to know that. And now we've been all over the country reading our books and sharing our thoughts with schools around the country.
I love that. Unleash your hero.
Unleash your inner hero.
Everybody
got a hero within.
Yeah, they need to know they got that inner hero. That's good. Y'all give them a hand there. Make sure you get that book, Unleash Your Inner Hero. You can read that to your younger brother, anybody like that. But you need to make sure, and not even just somebody, just a child, because we all need to know that we have an inner hero.
Everyone has a hero within inside themselves.
I love that. We can pass it to DK. DK, he's talking about that inner hero. You've had some success in college. What are some key factors that would help a high school student be successful in college?
I think the main key factor when it comes to being successful in college and high school is really just balance. I know they just talked about mental health, but the main thing that you want to make sure that you're doing is, having a social life as well as taking care of your schoolwork, making sure that your grades are correct, making sure that you're spending time with your friends, taking care of your mental health, taking time for yourself. And so all of that really just comes to balance. And so, yeah.
Taking care of yourself. Self-care, y'all. We heard about that a little earlier. Self-care is important. If you could pass it to Lauren. Lauren, to get to where you're at, it takes people supporting you. You said that support system. How has mentorship played a role in your current success?
Yeah, I would say mentorship is definitely important. It's always good to have connections with individuals who have been where you are and know where you want to go, and also have the tools and the capabilities to help you get there. Like I was saying before, even like with Marcus, when I first got on the Hill wanting to run for freshman senator, I really didn't know anything. I just knew, hey, like this is what I want to run for. But Marcus already being in those positions, already have like ran a campaign, being able to give me those tools and those insights to really help me get to, where I want to go.
I love that. You see the relationship here. Life is about relationships, that they knew each other and they're building with each other. Marcus, you've had a great journey. You started as a lamp, but if you could give these young people, if you could talk to young Marcus, he was sitting right out there in the crowd, just give us one piece of advice to close us out. What would you tell a young Marcus at that age and they're trying to be successful?
Yeah, I'm sitting here laughing because I'm like, I know Lauren, I just told them in the back, first and foremost, if we could just do another round of applause, I'm so proud of Lauren.
Come on,
to
give
be
her a hand.
A woman student body president.
Come on,
not only
come on.
student body
Y'all got to
president,
come on now.
but
That's
university
good.
trustee.
Y'all need to know that you can do it.
It's crazy.
And Marcus, you say that because a lot of times people they're afraid to try.
Man.
You know, especially when you're the minority.
Hey, and
in
it's
that
crazy because
situation.
when I think of the young man, I would have never thought that I would be the person helping people like Lauren, who not even being, can't be a jealous person. I tried to do the same thing and I couldn't accomplish it. But she's from Pensacola. She has a good heart. She has a good spirit, and helping her accomplish something like university trustee, I'm just super proud of her. But if I was looking at myself in the crowd, I say the same quote every time. I have a late mentor who passed away from Pensacola, Florida, who was also a university trustee at FAMU, Jalen Smith. He would always tell me, if not you, then who? And I tell myself every day, I try to do it sometimes, it's a little too much crust in my eyes. But if I can wake up every morning and I look in that mirror, I tell myself, Marcus, if not you, then who? Being honest, being realistic, being relatable. Before I came out here, I'm like, y'all, I'm nervous. I get nervous every time. But I told them in the back before we prayed, because we're going to keep God first.
Come on.
I said, if not us, then who? Because we can do it. And so I would just tell y'all, you're more than able to do anything that you want to do. And so if you ever hesitate, if you're ever nervous, do it scared. Do it afraid. Do it not knowing the outcome might not be what you want it to be, but you did it. And so I would say every day, tell yourself, if not me, then who? Because you are more than capable in your skin, as a man, as a woman, as Black people, and just as a people from Pensacola, Florida, because Pensacola, Florida is the #1 city in the world.
Come on,
So,
come on, y'all.
If not you, then who?
I love that. I love that. But before we get off the stage, if we can, when I say if not me, y'all say then who? If not me, if not me, if not me, it's you, y'all. Y'all are our future. Y'all stand to your feet. Let's give these young leaders a hand. The future is bright, y'all. All right, well, that was a great teen summit. I hope y'all had a great time. Once again, give us another hand for the Young Dreamers Teen Summit. I was your host, Dante Shepard, and once again, I was joined by
Alicia Waters.
Hey.
We'll see y'all at the showcase. It's about to go down. GCODE!
Regardless, my daddy told me keep the heat even when I'm in foreigns. I'm heartless, cause these niggas is hating on me just because I'm the biggest, the largest, the biggest, the largest. 30K on my riches for hard times. These niggas just mad cause they in my archives. Jordan came back to the 4-5. If you play, then you lay right there by your own kind. Hold up a 4 in the loco. Tell them runners be back like so-so. Got this rap here in the chokehold. Did a show out in Austin. Shout out to Bobo.